It's Nolan. What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music and entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Whoa, man. Today, it's gotten even liver. So, for those of y'all that were tuned in yesterday, y'all know that we talked about this whole ordeal between Azealia Banks and Doechii. I went through the entire anthology and the history of the Doechii Azealia Banks relationship, which it isn't a relationship. Let's just go ahead and keep that in perspective. However, Azealia Banks has had an ongoing problem with Doechii for the better part of the last 2 years. 2 years almost to the date, April of 2022. It all stemmed from originally Doechii reaching out to Azealia Banks for a feature. For whatever reason, she was dodging her, ducking her. She finally got in contact and she made it seem as though she was interested in doing the feature. They had a whole entire conversation. If you want to go into the details of all this stuff, you could go check out my video from yesterday. But she made it seem as though she was interested. Did all of this talking about, let's go ahead. The demand is there. The people are applying pressure. Let's go ahead and get the girls what it is that they need. She then took their inbox thread and posted it in her story. And in the very next story, she told her fans, psych, this shit is not going to happen. Basically giving Doechii a proverbial fuck you and everybody who love you. You know what I'm saying? So, nonetheless, I won't even say they. Azealia Banks has had a problem with her, right? With the new song that Doechii just put out, she's got a new record out called Alter Ego that features JT from the City Girls, or just JT, the City Cinderella, as she's calling herself now. They got this new record out. It's doing well. People are liking it, loving it. People have been saying that it reminds them of Azealia Banks. I remember Doechii, before the record came out, she said that they were trying to create a new genre that was melding hip hop and house music into one. I did not think that was a very good promotional tactic. I did not think that was the right move for Doechii, especially since there's other artists such as Azealia Banks, I got to give her credit, that have already been doing that for very many years in hip hop. She knows this because she's acknowledged Azealia Banks in the past as one of the greatest in her opinion. She pulls a lot of inspiration from Azealia Banks, right? But nonetheless, whatever you want to say about that, when she first got signed to TDE, her whole objective was to collaborate with her and try to share that moment with her, right? To pay homage, to show love, and to inevitably pay her for her contributions, to say, you've influenced me to get to this point. I want to pay you. I want to work with you. I want to pay it forward. Unfortunately, Azealia Banks gave her her ass to kiss, right? So now, with this new record out, and again, there's other artists. K Tronada has been out here for a while. He has collaborations with a lot of rappers that rap on his house beats. Gold Link is an artist. You know, although he's fallen off and people don't really be checking for him anymore, he was definitely, especially when he first came out, was big on rapping over house beats. That was his whole shtick. That was what put him on. And then once he got his major label deal, he kind of changed the direction of his music. But there have been other people that have done this. And there's so many others, especially in the LGBTQ community, that make similar styles of music that Azealia and Doechii are pulling from. So when Doechii came out and said, yo, what should I name my fans? What, you know what I mean? And we talked about this yesterday. It's very hard to determine what you want to name your fans when you're a creator, a musician, whatever it is, because you don't want it to be so specific that you outgrow it, right? If you're in a current era of your career and this is something that you're doing and you end up naming your fans this title, but then by the time your next album or your next project or whatever it is that you're working on comes around, you've outgrown that phase, outgrown that era, and you no longer want to call your fans that, it's going to cause a conflict with your fan base, because at that point, where are we going, right? So she was giving them the opportunity to tell her what they would like to be called. Azealia Banks jumped in her comments and said you should call them the wannabes, right? Because at this point, she's making it very well known, I still don't rock with you, I still don't like you, and I don't like that you're stealing from my style or pulling inspiration from me, period. The only problem with that is the fact that Doechii was very open about that. She's gone on podcasts and talked about her interaction with Azealia Banks, talked about the fact that she wanted to collaborate with her. And even after the first round of disrespect, she said that she would be open to revisiting the collaboration and getting it done with her because she knows how she is. She feels like she's been hurt. She feels like she's gone through a lot in the industry. So she gave her grace. Well, at that point, when that comment was distributed to her Instagram, Doechii clapped back and was like, yo, I let you slide the first time. I gave you a pass because I respect my elders. But you're not going to keep playing with me. You ain't doing nothing out here in the game, no way. So the respect level has definitely diminished now that I'm out here doing my shit. So you're going to have to quit playing with me or else it could get a little different for you out here in the streets. Not to mention, Doechii is from Florida, I believe. I don't know for sure, but it looks like the soap that, and we're not going to go into what the name of that soap or what that soap is being called because it looks like, YouTube is flagging some of that stuff. But the soap, she said, you ain't doing nothing but producing this soap. But it looks like the soap that she's producing is coming out of Florida, coming out of Miami. So things could turn into a physical interaction at some point if Azealia don't scale back a little bit. And I don't think that's the problem she wants. She talk a lot on the internet. She talk a lot in her Instagram stories. That's where the majority of her lifestyle is taking place, is in Instagram stories. But we saw her when she went up there to Wildin' Out and niggas got the joking on her ass. She folded up quicker than a goddamn origami. You know what I'm saying? She folded up like a motherfucking McDonald's fry carton, just different directions. You know what I mean? Shit, man. Folded up like some Kama Sutra shit, man. So she's not really like that in person. Not to that degree. Especially not when she feels like she don't got the upper hand. But nonetheless, we thought that the issue was over with yesterday. Unfortunately, no. The saga, the drama continues. All right? So now, Azealia Banks took to her Instagram stories. As we see, that's a very big pattern for her. And decided to keep badgering at Doechii. So here, she tags her. She says, see, Doechii, this is what we do at Cheapy XO. So she gives her photos of her her soap and basically the ingredients of her soap and the usages of said soap, right? This is what we do at Cheapy XO. We're making, I can't see all this, I guess she says medicine, crafting preventative herbal blends, informing Americans of how the things they eat affect health outcomes and the importance of the spine and CNS as the number one most important organ in the body. Big thanks for the shout out. It's grossed 3.5 million US dollars to date and given representation to the same people you are trying to bait with that stereotypical ounce shit. Only problem I have with this is so many people said it sounded just like your music. So if it's stereotypical ish, what would you call your music? Just got to keep it honest with some people, man, because the delusion just be creeping through, seeping through. But she continues because, she never just shoots once. She says, I've also crafted this bar with sea moss and colloidal silver hydrosol in the water phase. This will certainly kill whatever colony of parasite you've consumed from eating Vienna sausages. She funny. She crazy. But she's funny. I ain't gonna lie. I cannot act like she does not get a laugh out of me. And pickled eggs that is crawling out of your booty at night and burrowing into the surrounding skin. It is very effective for these things. So now she's saying you're eating Vienna sausages and pickled eggs. And this is another reason why yesterday I said I don't believe that Azealia Banks respects people in the South. When she speaks of Megan Thee Stallion, she says she gets Waffle House vibes. What I've seen of Megan Thee Stallion from the beginning of the game to now, especially now as she's transforming her body in the gym, eating well, transforming her diet, all this type of stuff, I don't get Waffle House vibes. Never did, but right now we definitely not getting that, right? So now when she's talking to Azealia Banks, now she's talking to Doechii, talking about you got parasites in you from eating Vienna sausages and pickled eggs, that's messing up your skin, right? So that's what she's saying. Not to mention the fact that yesterday she called Doechii the ugly version of her, and she said that TDE is trying to compete with her by putting Doechii up to the task of battling it out, as if TDE really gives two shits about Azealia Banks. Let's keep it honest. You ain't been out here. You ain't been putting no points on the board, right? We talked about this yesterday. I don't want to reiterate myself too much. But then she goes for a third strike, a third offense, if you will. And here she says, speaking of which, did you know the unsightly discoloration on your butt cheeks in many of your videos is due to a retention of dead cells? That cellular plaque seen in your video is comprised of dead skin cells, sebum, and baked on fecal matter. Come on, dog. Come on. She continues, yes, you showed the world the poop barnacles attached to your batty jar whilst having the nerve to call yourself Swamp Girl. Oh my geez. Clearly, this is not in reference to Florida and a direct nod to the swampy butt cheeks, the scars running from in between your crack from scratching what I presume to be a stubborn case of candida overload. I would try to stop smoking cigarettes, as that is food for candida and a recipe for frequent reoccurring yeast infections. I'd also advise brushing your teeth twice a day. You are skipping the nighttime brush and your teeth are yellow from the Newport tar, dear. Your eyes are even yellow, which means you're experiencing early stage liver failure and have a very poor diet. Surely your label can take you to a doctor for RX Diflucan. All the best, dear. So she came out and tried to give Doechii a health lesson to say, hey, I'm seeing a little bit of discoloration on your skin. Here's what's going on with you. You need to stop eating poor. You need to stop eating poorly. You need to stop smoking cigarettes. And I'm seeing sights of jaundice in your eyes, which means clearly you're reaping all of the negative benefits of what I'm talking about. So that's what Azealia Banks had to say. Like, just pure disrespect. Just pure, unfiltered, unadulterated disrespect. Okay? Now, at this point, Doechii jumps in her own Instagram stories and decides to clear some things out. You know what I'm saying? And take some direct shots back at Azealia Banks. I think she was trying to take the high road. She was trying to be respectful. She was trying to keep everything cool. That shit is out the window now. Let's hear what Doechii had to say. She says, I use my platform to make money and inspire people. Everyone around me is inspired by me. I'm a positive influence. You used to be so respected for your talents and your voice. Now you use your platform to gossip about black artists and sell Mary Kay products. You're insufferable. Yeah, let's get to it. Let's get to the shits, man. Let's get to the jabs. Right? This girl been on your head for 2 years, yo. Like, let's get to the real. Bang. She says it took you 3 business days to come up with that comeback just to resort to colorism. Boo! Does it not get tiring being an attack dog for the very same white gays you allegedly vehemently despise? Let's get to that discussion, right? Because we heard what she said about Tyler and Lil Nas X dating white men, although that's what she married, if I'm not mistaken. She says that's the only audience that wants to watch 2 talented black women go at each other's throats. Furthermore, she says your brain is fried from meds. You're damn near immobile from the shots. Wow. What does Doechii know that we don't? Now, I know that she had some sort of health issues years ago. I think on the onset of, let me just look it up, because I think she had a miscarriage, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. And that's not nothing to joke about, but this is where you put yourself in position for things to go left. You know what I'm saying? The disrespect you put out for everybody else at some point is going to circulate back to you. It's going to radiate through everything, and your ironclad shield will crack. Let's get to the rest of what Doechii had to say. She says, "Don't hurt yourself. You gossip about black artists to stay relevant, and it's sad. You definitely are an issue, just not the icons. You're one post away from the psych ward. Stop it. Your diagnosis is wasted talent. I bowed down, I kissed the ring, but I'm me. Hate to do you like this, but you're not finna bully me out of my lane. I've done in 2 years of signing what you couldn't do in your entire career." Yeah, let's get to the let's get to it. She done did more in 2 years than you did in your entire tenure, which was 10 years. Like that play. You're welcome. Yeah, I'm here for that. I'm here for that. And you lucky Doechii didn't lay into you any further, because at the end of the day, you keep playing with somebody, at some point, they're going to come back and play right with you. You done took shots at the entire industry. You done went at J. You done went at B. You done went at Ree. You went at SZA, Isaiah Rashad, Tyler the Creator. So many more that I probably have never even seen, right? But this is what you do. So finally, somebody has the heart to come back and get right with you, and you talking about your soap and all the ingredients and trying to make it seem like you give two shits about this woman's health. We not rolling with that. Ain't nobody in their right mind rolling with that. You got some fans fooled. I ain't gonna lie. Because I seen some of your fans in my comments yesterday talking about, "Oh, I love Azealia Banks, and although she's problematic, she's really talented." Where's the talent? Why are we not seeing it? Because the music that she released in 2023 was straight ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Bumbleclot ass. Rasclot. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to have to be real honest about what we're talking about here. She been living off 10-year-old music. Really 13-year-old music that got repackaged into an album. Let's keep it all the way a buck. Ain't nobody else living off that type shit. Only person that we know living off music that old is the one that don't show up to shows on time. We're not even going to mention her name on this one because she don't need to catch no strays right now. But it's about time you move about the way. It's about time you either get back on the bus that we talked about. You know what I mean? The one that you hopped off in the middle of your career, blossoming and getting into acting, rapping, excelling. Netflix movie, all this type of stuff. You jumped off the bus, got off the wagon. You still ain't went to the shop. It's about time you either figure out how to get to the shop, or you're going to stay at home and let the world continue to pass you by as it has. Congratulations on your $3 million off of your soap. That is a great accomplishment. You're doing things. Hey, if the soap is legit, if the soap is helping people, if health and wellness is the path for you and music just isn't for you anymore, that's awesome. That's great. That's amazing. But lay off the bullshit. Lay off the hate. Lay off trying to criticize everybody for all of their achievements and their accomplishments because you never made it that far. So you want to try to tell everybody how they could do their shit better. You don't offer constructive criticism. You just try to be as hurtful as you possibly can be. You need to get that shit together. You need to wash your goddamn self and your insides with that goddamn soap, if it's that effective, to cleanse out all the shit going on with you. I ain't gonna sit here and talk about this girl all day though, man. We did enough of that yesterday. We talked about the entire backstory, how we got here, why the vitriol is so extreme. Again, you can watch that video for the entire scoop. Just had to give y'all a quick update. Much love and respect. Before we go, I do want to make sure that I give a big shout out to the homie. Let me go ahead and pull up your name while we're here. Go to my supers. Big shout out to Heady Trips. All right. I appreciate the super chat yesterday while we was on live talking about this exact situation. Appreciate you tuning in, being an insider, being a part of the crew. And that's pretty much what I got for y'all. We got more content on the way. Don't go nowhere. It'll be dropping shortly. Just stay put. Keep your notifications on. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Become an insider. All right. Much love and respect. I will see y'all shortly. All right. Peace.
king of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. But drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they died of me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.